Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It is bright and freaking early, man. It's 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I was in such a hurry to get out here and do this video this morning that I cut myself shaving yesterday, and I just cut myself again. Don't you hate the taste of blood and the smell of it? As soon as I nick myself, it's a strong, pungent odor. Anyway, enough about that. I was in such a hurry to get out here. This is a Britney Spears video. And for once, this one time, I can totally relate to what Britney Spears is saying. Most of the time, I do Britney Spears videos, and I do them because I get so many views on them, and because I've said before, I can relate to I can relate to women a lot of times better than I can relate to men. I don't know if I should be ashamed of saying that or whatever, but that's the truth. And, I do these videos, and I love women, and I look at these Britney Spears videos, I do them, and I talk about them, and I kind of joke about them a little bit. Now, this video, I just did a video about her deleting her Instagram account, and apparently she's put it back up. And there is a video of three sisters, two bigger ones and a smaller one. The smaller girl's about, I don't know, I'd say 3 or 4. And it's just my heart. I feel this feeling in my heart. You'll see what I'm saying in a second. And then there's a text. There's text. And I'll read it to you here. The link will be down below, so you can go right to her Instagram account. TMZ talked about this too, and I'll have the link to that down below. But I went right to her Instagram account, and I copied down what she said. And there's a couple paragraphs here that I'm going to read to you. And when I read this, at first I saw the picture of the video. Right? I didn't watch it. Then I read this, and I was like, oh, it's Britney. This is what I thought to myself. Oh, it's Britney again. She's a little, I don't want to say, she's a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Eccentric. That's the word I'm looking for, right? So I'm like, okay, and I read this, and I'm like, what's she talking? She's complaining about her family again, and she feels wronged by her family, and I'm thinking rich girl complaining about her parents and the whole situation with money and everything. But then when I watched the video, holy cow, man, I could totally relate to what, I'm not kidding around, I could totally relate to what she's saying. Not only can I totally relate to it, but I talked about how I just went camping. I did videos where I just went camping 3 weeks ago on Labor Day with my sister and her girlfriend. There were 3 of us there. And we were talking about when we were little, me and my sister. My sister was bringing up times when we were little. And we were all kind of laughing, but, she wasn't laughing my sister wasn't laughing all that much. I'll fill you in more, and you'll understand what I'm saying in a second. I'm going to read to you first. I'm going to read to you like how I read it first. I'm going to read to you the text that I read first. I saw the picture of the 3 girls. They're making a cake. There's a bowl in front of them. They have eggs. All 3 of them have it's the 2 bigger sisters and the little sister, and they all have eggs, and they're going to crack the eggs and make a cake. I'm assuming it's a cake. Maybe it's cupcakes. Whatever it is, they're making something in a bowl, and they're cracking eggs. So that's the picture. But then when you watch the video, I'm the older sibling, and it broke my heart watching this video. It did. I didn't think it was funny at all. And I think that's because of what had just happened on Labor Day, but this will all make sense to you in a second. Okay, I'm going to read what I read first, the text here. Like I said, when I first read this, I thought it's just Britney complaining again. I wish I could be doing this video on my main channel. This is a video that I wish I was doing on my main channel for 2 reasons. I think a lot of people would watch it on my main channel, and because it's important to me. It's something big. It's an important thing that's happened in my life just in the last couple of weeks that's affected me. You'll see what I'm saying in a second. Okay, so this is what Britney wrote with this video. I'm not complaining. This is her saying this. I'm not complaining about this video. Actually really cute, but with no sound, it has a different effect! Exclamation points. For me, it feels darker. Similar things have been done to me, so I look at it through different eyes! Exclamation points. There's a lot of exclamation points in here. Most of my inner conflict with people is knowing the enemy is right in front of me, but I kept them because I love them. Exclamation point. When I read that, it's like she's complaining again. It almost sounds paranoid. The enemy is right in front of me. She's talking about her family. So I'm kind of this is the word I'm poo-pooing it. I'm like, what's she complaining about now? All right, I didn't know if I was going to use that word. I didn't want to use that word, poo-pooing it, but that's the only way I could think of to describe the way I was thinking about this. Okay. But I love them. I'm extremely sensitive to anyone laughing at someone or bullying in any way. There's so much that I've kept private that's gone on with me personally. And maybe one day I can let people know. But until then, there's 3 sides to every story. Your side, my side, and the truth. And that is very true. And especially what I'm going to talk about. What me and my sister, there's 3 sides to every story. And you'll see what I'm going to say. She's very correct when she says that. Okay, ask any cop, and they'll tell you the same thing. There's 3 sides to every story. Okay, watch it now. She says, watch it now with no sound. If only. Okay, that's the end of it. And then underneath the video, she says a little more. There's this text, and then underneath the video, there's more. And she says, if only they would have slapped the shit out of her. Nobody is laughing when she does it back to them. Well, they are laughing here, but what if I showed up then? It's her hands at the end. And that's kind of hard to decipher. You're going to have to watch the video. Okay, let me describe the video to you now. So the video starts. And the 3 of them are there, and there's this little girl in the middle. And I can imagine what she's thinking. She's kind of psyched. She's getting to make a cake. She's on video with her 2 bigger sisters. She must be she looks up to her bigger sisters. She wants to be like them. She wants to hang out with them. She feels, special because they're including her in this video and making this cake. So the video starts, and they all go to crack the eggs, except the 2 sisters on the sides crack the eggs against the little girl's head. And they just start laughing hysterically. And the eggs didn't break on the girl's head. So, they just basically, the two sisters took hard objects and banged it against their little sister's head. And then started laughing hysterically. Then it just breaks. I don't see, there's nothing funny. I don't find anything funny about this video. I don't think it's cute at all. Then the little girl says, that's not funny. That's not nice. She goes, that's not very nice. That's not, and it's my freaking heart breaks when I watch this. The little girl, you see the look on her face. She was shocked. And she actually goes to each one. She goes, that's not very nice. That's not very nice. And then the little girl goes, what if somebody did that to you? And that's exactly the way I think, like empathy. How would you feel if, I can't believe this girl is so emotionally intelligent for being, 4 years old, 5 years old? And she goes to crack the egg on her sister's head. And the sisters are just losing it, man. They're laughing hysterically when their little sister says, that's not very nice. They think that's hilarious. They're laughing and laughing, and you see the little girl is hurt. That shocked her. She didn't expect that. It shattered her trust. It shattered her whole day, man, And there's a reason I think this. Now, I can completely understand. Brittney's I don't think Brittney says, it's funny with the sound on. I'm even more a harsher critic of this. I don't think it's funny at all anyway with the sound on or the sound off. Okay, here's the thing. Just on Labor Day, we were camping, and my sister's friend was along with her. And I just had met this friend a couple times, so we all sit down, and my sister, we talk about this, things that went on. I protected my little sister. We would have parties, and my little sister would be there, and she would drink, when she was in her 20s. But I would never allow anyone. I would demolish anyone that offered my little sister any kind of substances. That was the rule in my house and at my parties. So I protected her then. But going back to when we were real little, when my father died, she was 3 years old. I was 9 years old. So she followed me everywhere. I see pictures of us now. She's in a little red snowsuit, and my heart just explodes with love. And she used to do that, like she'd get excited and she'd go like this. Like she'd get to follow me and my friend because we lived inside the park. And my father was the actual park ranger, and on snow days from school we'd have the whole park to ourselves. It was my backyard, a whole state park with the lake, and we would go ice skating. And my sister brings this up a lot. Me and another friend, we were probably about 10, 11 years old, and we brought her with us, and we had our hockey skates on, she had her figure skates on, and she was a little girl, probably about 5 or 6 years old, and maybe not even. And me and my friend pushed picnic tables down onto the ice, right? And we could do whatever we want because nobody else was there. My father ran the park, and we would push the picnic tables across the ice and get them going really fast. We'd skate behind them and push, so the picnic table would slide across the ice. Then we thought it'd be great to put my sister on the picnic table, and it's kind of like it's kind of like a carnival ride. And my little sister in her little red snowsuit, she's all excited, and she's sitting on the picnic table, and we're pushing her across the ice, and she's spinning around, the picnic table spinning around, going across the ice. And I don't remember, this is the three sides thing, I don't remember the ice starting to crack, but my sister, just on Labor Day, said the ice started to crack, and you guys ran. You guys left me there on the ice with it cracking. Now, the ice didn't break, and she didn't fall through. But I don't remember the ice cracking. I don't remember running away and leaving my little sister on the ice. But she very seriously remembers it that way. And everybody's kind of laughing. The three of us are laughing, but not really. And then there was another time. Me and my sister were in my mother's room screwing around, going through things. She was only 3 or 4, 5, 3 years old. She was little. She was very little at this. And I thought it would be funny to turn the lights off and run out of the room and scare her. So I turned the lights off and I ran out. And then she ran out behind me screaming. She was terrified. And I thought this was hilarious until she ran right out into the living room and ran head first right into a steel radiator and knocked herself out. Bam, a little 3-year-old screaming, terrified, comes running out of the bedroom, runs straight into a radiator and knocks herself out. Then she starts to turn blue. She's laying on the floor. My mother's like, get back, give her air. And I thought I killed my little sister. And this is another part I don't remember. I don't remember taking her to the hospital and all that, but I remember being terrified that I killed her. And this was another time, this is another thing we just brought up on Labor Day. My sister brought these incidents up, to tell her friend. We're all sitting around the campfire, and the two of them are having a few drinks, a few cocktails. Me, of course, I'm not. But we're talking, we're filling this girl in and laughing about these stories that happened in our earlier years. But, my sister, not so much. And I knew that, and I kid around. And I say, but sis, she's only 5'1", and she's probably about 108 pounds, a little girl, but she's got a crazy temper. And I mean, she'll go after me, she'll go after anybody. I remember her getting mad at me, and I remember holding her against the wall with her feet off the floor, and she was just bashing me. And this was when she was in her teens. So I was like, I always kid around and say, it made you tougher. That's what I say now. But in my heart, especially after losing my father, now I look back and I see those pictures of that little girl in that little red snowsuit. And I hate what I did to her, and I can't take it back. And even if I apologize, it doesn't change what happened. I took away her trust, about leaving her on the ice. That's the way she remembers it. I don't know, that could be what happened. It probably is what happened, but I just, I thought it was so funny at the moment that I didn't remember her being terrified on the ice and abandoned. And there's more of these stories, and I can't apologize for them. I can't, even if I say I'm sorry, what does that even mean? It changed who she was. It changed who she even was. It killed her trust. So I feel very strongly about this video. I understand. For once, I'm not kidding around about Brittney's post. I could totally understand what she's saying here, except I can understand it from an older sibling's point of view. I was the bully, and I see her now, and I love her so much. And I look back at those pictures of her, and I can't take it back, And I realize now we only have a limited time on this earth, and I want to make amends for the things I did to her. But there's some things you just can't take back. You can't change, and I think these are some of them. And maybe someday these girls cracking these eggs on their sister's head, they see it as hilarious. They're going to go to college, and they're going to tell their husbands when they get married, it was hilarious, But then when they get older, maybe my age, in their 50s, 40s, 50, they have grandkids, and they start to see things from different perspectives. They'll watch this video, and they'll see the look on their little sister's face when the trust just drained, the hurt on this little girl's face, and it's not so funny when you look at it, when you see it from a different, Brittney is totally right when she says there's 3 sides to every story. There really is. All right, I wish I could put this video on my main channel because I feel very strongly about it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know. I'm sure plenty of you have some stories and some things you'd like to say. Please let me know in the comments. Have a good Wednesday.